Hello and welcome to Goofing Off-Road. My name's Tony and today we're going to be installing this ARB air compressor on the Ram. Quite often when we're driving off-road we need to let air out of the tyres so that we can increase traction and so that the tyres can act as part of the suspension system for a softer ride. When we get off the trail we need to put the air back into the tyres, and I'm going to do that with an air compressor. NH Overland make a bracket that will allow me to install the air compressor out of the way under the hood. Let me show you how to do it. The first thing to do is remove this brace from the passenger side. Like that. Before you put the bracket in place, then remove these two 13mm bolts, and then also you want to remove this plastic clip. Next we're going to turn over the compressor, place the NH Overland bracket on the back of the compressor so the holes line up, and install the bolts provided by ARB. Here's the nut and bolt to hold the bracket on. I'm going to take the nut to the wrench so I don't lose it when I'm trying to install it. When you put the bracket in, you're going to line the bottom hole up with this hole here. Place the bolt through the bottom hole and then guide that into the hole in the bracket. You need to put the nut on the bottom of this bolt before you secure the top of the bracket. To do that, I secured the compressor to stop it from falling into the engine bay. Sorry I couldn't film this bit, it's fiddly, just be patient with it. Once you've got the bottom bolt secured, then you can lift the bracket up and move it into place. And then you can install the top bolts. Now the bracket's in place, you can start wiring and plumbing the compressor. I'm going to use this 3/8 inch nylon tubing for the airline, and I'm going to use push to connect fittings, which will make it easy to take the tubing out and replace it on the trail if it gets damaged. I'm going to run the airline along the frame to the back of the truck next to the factory wiring harness. I want to be able to plug the air hose in to the outside of the truck, so I made a couple of brackets to put the air couplers on that would be easy to reach. One bracket goes at the rear of the truck by the trailer hitch. Now I can cut the airline with a hose cutter and insert it into the push press fitting. Ram very kindly provided this threaded insert on the frame on the passenger side wheel well. I'm going to use this for the second bracket. Now we can cut the air hose to length and put it in the push press fitting. Now we can connect the other end of the airline to the compressor. Now that the airlines are done, it's time to do the wiring. I stripped the wires from the ARB harness. I'm only going to use the wires I need. On the grey plug, you have two red wires that need to go to the battery, and then the three black wires need to go to ground. On the small plug, the purple wire is the switch to turn the compressor on and off, and the black wire is ground. I've twisted all the ground wires together. I'm going to put this copper lug in the crimp tool and put the wires in there and then crimp it down with the hammer. And now those wires are secure. Then I can put the heat shrink over it and that will protect the small wires. I mocked up the power cables to see how long they need to be. I've cut them to length and I'm going to join them together with butt connectors and throw some heat shrink on them. I dressed the wires in split loom and ran them along the firewall, and now it's time to plug them into the compressor. I'm going to put the ground wire on the bolt for the hood brace. Remember to tighten the hood brace and zip tie the wires up so they're not loose. Now we need to connect the compressor to the battery. Rams supply a binding post underneath this cover. Now we can connect the compressor power to the binding post on the battery. And I'm going to secure it with a nylon nut. This red wire is the switch wire that turns the compressor on and off. I'm going to test the compressor is working by attaching that to the battery. That's it, the compressor's installed. This is actually exciting. It feels like a real off-road vehicle now that I can air the tires up when I get off the trail. Stay tuned to see what I do for a switch system to turn it on and off. I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe for more cool videos.